you must be trading crypto. Got about to dip again. Got about to dip again. You got it. And I got it. You got Stella. And I got it. You got Icon. And I got it. And you got Salt. But I need next. I need next. Turn up on me, nanos on the dip. I recognize when I see it. All I really want. All right, how about that crowd? Once again, welcome back, guys. It's the Crypto Cooler Talk Show. I'm your host, Crypto Cooler Third, aka Crypto Cuz Third, and we have an exciting show that I'm very, very geeked up about having today. We have the guys from a project called Emanate on with us today, and why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, thanks, man. So my name's Sean. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Emanate. Sitting here with Trent and Jimi Frew. So together we're three of the four co-founders, along with Pedro Colaco, who's our CTO, the creator of D-Sound, which is another decentralized music platform.
Awesome. So can you guys go ahead and just give our listeners a 2 to 3 minute overview on what Emanate is and the roles you guys kind of play in the company and how you guys got started?
Sure. So Emanate is the audio exchange protocol. We're building a decentralized music platform on EOS. Really, the background is when we started getting across this technology last year, we could foresee a future for a decentralized music industry and a better way for audio creators to interact with each other. And as we started developing the ideas, we sort of thought that it would be the best way to approach it would be to create an ecosystem that other people can work into rather than creating something closed off like Spotify or iTunes. Mm-hmm. So we're creating the audio exchange protocol, and in order to attract users to it, we're also building the first couple of applications that will sit on top of that technology. So we are building a streaming service, and we're building a collaboration workflow tool for musicians to be able to collaborate safely, quickly, easily from anywhere on the planet.
So when I go on to emanate.live, I see that it's a self-governing audio exchange protocol. What exactly, can we explain just for laymen, what does self-governing mean?
Yeah, so we're basically, like when we looked at this and we looked at the problems that exist within the music industry, the reason that we have these problems is because of the big centralized structures that exist at the center of it. And we thought we can't really create a new music ecosystem and have it also controlled by one body of people. So what we've decided to do is create a decentralized autonomous organization that will help govern the platform. And initially, our team will have quite a lot of say in that DAO, but over time we'll actually increase the amount of weighting given to the community vote and the proposals that come from the community. So over time, it is actually the users who are directing its future and making decisions around how it should work and what features should be brought in and how different fee structures and so forth will operate. So over time, it becomes something that's in control of the musicians and listeners and influencers that actually use the platform.
So how exactly would something like that work? Like do I have more weight if I've been with you guys since day one, or if I hold a token from you guys, or if I'm an artist on there? Does that have more weight than necessarily the next guy on there who just signed up yesterday? Or is there like how does that work exactly for making decisions if something's going to change with the platform or something like that? Who has the most weight on those kind of decisions?
Yeah, the weighting comes down to the token holders and the platforms that we've been reviewing for running this DAO give you the ability to sort of change weighting as well. So all of that will actually be decided by the community itself. And, big industry partners who come on board will have a say. major token holders will have a say, and we want to reserve places on that DAO for people that are existing bodies in the music industry around the world. So we do want representation from labels and publishers and the people that run the industry at the moment, which is a really important part about Emanate, is that we're not looking to disrupt and kind of tear down the current music industry like some of the other music projects that are trying to do.
Right.
We're actually trying to evolve it and just bring decentralized technology and decentralized governance to the music industry. So we believe there'll be a role for everyone in the platform, but it will just be smoother and quicker and fairer for all parties.
I feel like that's a really interesting take that you guys have that separates you guys from a lot of the other things that I see as far as music platforms go in the crypto space, because everybody's like, we're going to disrupt music and this is going to be the biggest thing since Napster. We're going to tear down all this. But you guys have kind of built something that is integrating into what already exists. Can you guys kind of elaborate a little bit on why the decision to create a platform that integrates rather than disrupts?
I think when we started to look at the ecosystem, we just sort of came to the realization it is probably impossible to just fully, disregard the middleman in the music industry. Everyone has a bit of a role to play,
yeah.
And we see this more of, I guess as an evolution rather than sort of a revolution. One of the big things that we're trying to do is give the industry the tools that they need that will help, multiple, partners and players in the ecosystem evolve and, hopefully get them ready for the blockchain era. I think it's very naive to sort of sit back and look at it from a point of view saying you're going to come in and disrupt an industry that's been up and running for the last sort of 40, 50 years.
Yeah, I agree. It seems like it would take a whole lot to knock down that juggernaut, especially not having anybody from, that big scene already on your team.
But I think that it's not only that. It's, the people have a role to play. Like even in record labels, there are people within there that help, artists get discovered on radio. Everyone, like they do have a role to play. And I just don't think you can just cut out a whole section and just say, hey, here's a new piece of technology. It's going to allow for, forget everything else that's been done. This is going to be the new thing that everyone's going to come to. So I think the best way to look at it is to come from a point of view about, evolving something, looking at how each party can add value to what we're trying to do. And I guess that's where the whole governance system comes into play, about thinking about what value that they can add and how a community can help shape the future of the industry.
Agreed. I know one thing that when I met Jimi that we had discussed was, I'll give the listeners a little background. I was fortunate enough to meet Jimi at Crypto BlockCon this year in 2018 in Los Angeles, and then I was fortunate enough to be able to get invited to a party that Emanate was throwing, a private party. Was it in Venice?
Yeah, Venice Beach.
Venice Beach. Lovely setup you guys had going on there, and that's when I met Trent and Sean for the first time, and a few advisors on the team. I think Michael was there. He was speaking, and he had a really great artist there playing. It's great vibes. These guys really know how to throw a party. Had a really, really good time there, and I was sober, so that tells you a lot about how fun the party was. And you can come and not get blitzed, and still it's a blast. But one of the interesting things that we had went over when we were talking was some of the things you guys are putting into play with smart contracts and split sheets. Can we kind of elaborate on that and go into that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So, look, being an artist for 10 years or so, it's pretty frustrating to collaborate with people in general. You got to handshake on agreements and no one really knows when you're going to get paid. So, what we saw straight away with smart contracts is, I suppose there's a lot of other people did as well, but to have a smart collaboration in effect where two parties on either side of the world don't really have to think too much. They just click and share their files. Everything's logged on the blockchain. And they can, rest easy at night knowing their work is protected, or at least there's some kind of, registration of a session that took place, or files changing hands and whatnot. So, it's just an amazing way to protect artists and their work.
I think that's awesome, man. I was really, really drawn to that. I've always been a fan. I came from being an artist, and I've always been a fan of, like, you finish a session, let's get a split sheet together. And that paper split sheet is like, it's just written down, like, between us. So, like, someone can rip that up, it can be gone, but now it's on an immutable blockchain. Things are locked in there. People are able to say, hey, like, this happened on this day. These are the parties involved, and this is, where it stands and where we stand. Can you guys, do you guys have something set up where the artist can already have the splits broken down for, like, if I wanted to come and sample someone's song? Is that something that you guys are trying to build into it?
Well, yeah, so the artist will be given an option to say a more future-forward focus of the platform will be to have a STEM marketplace where different profiles will host different files owned by that individual. So maybe an acapella as an example. I can place a percentage split on that. It's up to me. If you want to use the acapella, it will be XXX percentage. But you're in agreement that I'll take a part of that if you use it, edit it, remix it, and then publish it back onto the ecosystem where it can be tracked and monetized and distributed instantly. So yeah, that's something that we'll be building a little bit more further down the line in the release stage. But yeah, it's part of it all.
Very dope. Very dope.
I think that's the biggest thing is smart music collaboration and micropayments is one of the first things that people started talking about when the smart contract was first developed, and what we're doing with it and the twist that we're putting on it on the EOS platform and kind of coining the term smart collaboration really enables exactly what you've just talked about, which is for artists to be able to collaborate without even meeting or without even having a discussion. And at the moment, anyone can do an edit of someone's work and they can throw it up anywhere online, and it might get taken down, or the original author might not like it, or who knows, but it happens anyway. Yeah. So within the ecosystem that we're creating, people will be able to do that. But if the original artist loves it, they can say, hey, let's make this a proper release. Yeah. And at least they can get paid a small percentage for those other things that are out there.
So let's say I'm an artist, I'm listening to this show right now, I've got a big heart on for what's going on over here with Emanate. Where do I go sign up? How does an artist get signed up for this thing? Is there a beta already happening? You guys already taking artist signups right now?
Yeah, we've got a form available from our homepage where artists can register. They can give us their details. We're kind of keeping track of all of those ones that are coming through. We really want to get a critical mass of good quality music right there before we launch the platform. Right. What we're releasing within the next month or so is what we're really just referring to as a demo. It will have somewhere for people to put their music, and it will have a collaboration platform as well in a simple form. And that's really the first stop on our roadmap. Awesome.
And so we're looking to see that before the end of the summer. That's going to be something that's coming to fruition.
It's on the roadmap for that sort of frame of time. With the EOS mainnet that's just recently launched, there's been a couple of hiccups, but it's going pretty well.
Nice.
And we're really excited about it. We had to rework our smart contracts a number of times as the different testnet releases came through and everything. But, it's looking good, and it's really important that we take it slowly as EOS matures and don't publish anything that's not robustly tested, especially once real tokens start getting integrated and everything like that. So, but, it seems to be moving pretty quick. The EOS community's passionate and is growing. We're really excited about what's going on, and we're just really fortunate to be running this project at the same sort of time as the EOS launch, because we were looking at EOS way back in October and had planned to build on it, and the timings have just been perfect. So
it just kind of merged together with their launch and with you guys building right now. That's kind of awesome. For anybody that might be listening, can I ask you guys a favor? Can you give us just a little bit of a breakdown of exactly what EOS is? since you guys have are building something on it, can you guys kind of tell like the listener that's like, okay, what is EOS? Can you kind of just give a little bit, or at least tell us what you're doing on EOS?
Yeah. Well, we've actually got a video that'll be dropping in the next week or so, which